What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit of a random video that I just thought about, considering we just went through all of the runes, and so I thought I'd make a little bit of a tier list right after. So now that you've watched through what all the runes do, I thought I'd maybe just go ahead and rank them in viability at the moment, and I'll try to explain the tiers before starting off. So okay, so we'll start off with press the attack here. Personally, it usually is under does the job, but right now I feel like it's really not that strong. It's very rarely used and gets overshadowed by Little Tampon Conqueror, and for that reason I'm gonna just put both of them in broken tier right now. I think they're both very strong and very viable on almost every champion that wants either healing or attack speed. It's definitely the best options in the as the keystones for the precision tree. Fleet footwork is not really that good. It got nerfed quite recently, so it can work into when you really don't need extra attack speed or healing and you're just wanting to survive a poke lane. So it will do the job if it's nothing else really. I think Overheal is a very underrated and specific rune, so I'll put that there. I think Triumph is slightly overrated, but most people can't actually make use of Overheal, so I'll put it right under. If you can make use of him, I think it's definitely up there. I think Presence of Mind is really good. Legend Alacrity does the job. Tenacity just got nerfed. Bloodline is also not that strong. I think Legend Alacrity actually is the strongest one out of the three at the moment. This might change. I do think that Bloodline should probably still be up here, but definitely lower than Bloodline. Coup de Grace, I really think it's quite overrated. Cut Down, I think, is broken. Last Stand, I think, is also broken. Maybe not broken, but I think it's very strong, so I'll put it right there. Electrocute, not really that great. There's not a lot of champions currently that take it, so I'm gonna put this there. I think Predator can work in specific scenarios. I think Dark Harvest is really weak. I really don't see anyone really needing that rune at the moment. Hail of Blades, I think, sits in a little bit of the similar boat with Predator, where certain champions really can make use of it, like Tristana, and it's just very specific scenarios you can probably take it. Cheap Shot, pretty similar. Taste of Blood, pretty nice. Sudden Impact, also really nice. Zombie Ward is really good if you have good ward taking potential, like either with Umbral Glaive or just you're very good at finding wards and removing them. Ghost Poro, not that great. It can be good in very specific situations, but I really don't want to have it in the same tier as Zombie Ward. I mean, this is just a default one you always take, so I guess I will have to put it, and does the job. I'm just gonna see if I can change the colors here a little bit. Go. I think these cards are a little bit better. Maybe I just took them incomplete. I should probably have taken this as being yellow. Yellow usually means like really strong, like golden. And then we go down to green, darker green, blue, and then just all the way to probably red tier actually. Like red should probably be the lowest one. There we go. Sorry, I just got a little bit straight. This is Treasure Hunter, not Ravenous Hunter. By the way, this is a little bit of an older tier list, as you might be able to tell. But everything except First Strike and Treasure Hunter should still be the same. So remember, this is Treasure Hunter. Treasure Hunter does do the job, but it doesn't scale that well, so I will put it in the top of the mid tier. I'll actually remove this just so that it doesn't like get too filtered. There we go. Ingenious Hunter just really isn't that good actually. Like there's some games where you have to take it again when you run Predator, but other than that I think you can also run Predator without it, so I just really don't see it being that great. Relentless Hunter I think is a broken and underrated rune. Ultimate Hunter, I want to put it and does the job, because when you actually want it, it does do the job really well. Just very rarely you really want it. In that case, I'm actually going to start moving up some of these, because I think Zombie Wood can definitely be up there. Coup de grace. Airy, it's fine in certain scenarios. Comet, same thing really. I'll put it below Airy though. Phase Rush I think is really good. Go. Nullifying Orb, very situational. It's good in the right situations, like you sometimes need it against Fizz or Fizz or LeBlanc or something like that, but those champions aren't really played, so I wouldn't say that you should take this very often. Mana Flow Band I think is S tier. I think Nimbus Cloak, if you don't have mana, is also S tier, but if you do have mana, you usually always want to take Mana Flow Band above it. And Transcendence I think does the job. I'm gonna have to like re-tier them once I've finished placing them. I think Celerity is really strong. I think Absolute Focus works in certain scenarios depending on your champion. I think Scourge is maybe not broken, but I think it's definitely really strong at the moment. I think Water Walking in the right scenarios can work really well. So I'll have to put it here. I was considering putting it higher, but I realized not a lot of people actually want this. Gathering Storm, really just good. Grasp, I think is broken if you're playing a tank champion. Like it's really strong at the moment. If you don't, then probably not that good, so maybe I have to put it top of does the job tier. Aftershock's not that good, it works very situationally. Guardian definitely does the job. Demolish, really strong. Can work on a bunch of different champions and gives you options if you're into a passive lane. Font of Life, it's fine in certain scenarios. I think Shield Bash is really good. Conditioning, I think I can put all of them up here. I will put Bone Plating down here because I think Second Wind is usually the go-to pick for laning and Conditioning is the go-to pick for scaling. But in very rare situations where the champion you're playing against has a good amount of burst, I think bone plating is really necessary and really does do really well. Overgrowth. I'm trying to think here, because I would usually rank this higher, but I really never actually take this. Because the champions that want health usually have some sort of healing and would rather just take Revitalize. A good tenacity option, especially since Legend Tenacity got nerfed. Glacial Augment, fine in certain scenarios. Unsealed Spellbook, it's not that great, mostly because there's not a lot of champions that don't have an ideal keystone at the moment. Hex Flash, not that great. Free Boots, OP. Perfect Timing does the job really well. Futures Market, I think, is actually really strong. Minion Dematerializer, not that good at the moment. I'll actually put it down here. Cookies, I really don't think they're that good. Cosmic Insight, it's, unless you have some sort of CC, it's the go-to option. Approach Velocity, really strong on certain champions and really necessary. The two champions that come to mind would be things like Olaf or Ashe that have like really good slows that can use this to chase onto you. I'm not sure if I should rate this. We have First Strike here. This is the Kleptomancer one, but this is First Strike. I'll edit this in the thumbnail right after recording it, and then I'll just like put them over, and we'll see what we can do with that. But okay, so do I even rate these? Attack speed. I think I just do this. I just think cooldown reduction is really not up there because it scales. The more you have, the less you get, so it's not really that valuable. I'll actually put scaling health up here, even though I very rarely use it myself. And I probably like this is what I would put it. Okay, now I'm just gonna go through and then see if I can I'm gonna rate them in their own tiers so that they get rated from best of broken to worst of broken. I think they're equal, so they can stay. I think Relentless Hunter is probably really good. I'll put Demolish further back. I think Free Boots is really good. Again, this doesn't go for any champion, but these are for most champions. These work really well at what they do. And if you're already tapping into these trees, let's say Domination, you're most likely going to take Relentless Hunter because you're like most of the time an assassin, and being out on the map and being able to do more plays opens you up for a lot more. Yes, some people like Treasure Hunter for extra early game or Ultimate Hunter for some extra ultimates that they can use to pick off people, but I really feel that Relentless Hunter is superior. This tier list is completely subjective as well, so if you disagree with some of these placements, that's completely fine. I'm trying to think if there's like some champion that just like really abuses Glacial Augments, making it an S tier or like a broken rune, but I really can't think of one where I'm like every game Glacial Augment. I just really can't think of it. Meanwhile, I can think of a lot of champions that just every game run Conqueror no matter what, every game run Lethal Tempo no matter what, just showing you how strong the runes actually are. I think Cut Down is very underrated still, especially on ADCs. I don't know why ADCs ever would take something different. In very specific situations you wouldn't take this. Demolish, I think, is stronger than both of these. I will put Futures Market up right here, though. I think Futures Market is a very strong rune. I think that's fine, though. I'll do this only because Tenacity got nerfed. If Tenacity was not nerfed, I think this Revitalize would be stronger. I will actually, looking at it, move up Tenacity to the next tier together with Triumph, because they really just do belong up here. Because again, if you're into a very heavy CC team and you're into the precision tree, you're gonna take Tenacity. So anyways, Grasp 100% is gonna be number one here. I think Presence of Mind also 100% gonna be the secondary one. I will move up Phase Rush though, because I do think that this gives you a lot of counterplay to champions with low mobility, and if you can kite them easier as a mage, just making it very unplayable for certain champions. Alacrity, definitely up here. Overheal, I can move down a little bit. I will definitely move down Legend Bloodline by quite a bit. I will move up First Strike though. I think First Strike is also up there with Phase Rush. You do need to have specific champions to use this though, so it might drop. Gathering Storm, really solid. All of these are really solid options for a lot of champions. Just trying to see if there's like anything that just immediately needs to be moved up. I think Scorch might actually be in a position right now where I personally think it could even be in broken tier. But since a lot of games do actually still go quite a long while, I think Gathering Storm is still a tad bit better. Sudden Impact is fine there. I'll actually move it right next to Taste of Blood. Showing that they're next to each other just shows a rather good design, because that means that the power level between the options are pretty similar. Treasure Hunter as well, because again it is mostly used as the filler one. Zombie Ward, Ultimate Hunter, that's fine. I will actually move up Treasure Hunter quite a bit now that I'm looking at it. I will move down Nimbus Cloak. Guardian, I will actually drop Guardian to the same place as Airy because they're similarly used. And Guardian did get nerfed a while ago, so this seems fine. I will drop Shield Bash a little bit because of its situationality. Like, you really just need a lot of heals and shields. No, not heals, but you need a lot of shields to make this a good option, or you need to have a shield, or you need to have a team with a lot of it, so I will drop it. Yeah, otherwise, I think that does the job tier really is about right. I do think armor is slightly better than magic resist, because everyone has auto attacks, but not everyone has good spells that deals magic damage. Triumph. I will move it up here. It's very widely spread. I think it's slightly overrated, but it still does get the job done. I still think Overheal is better, but not a lot of champions can actually make use of it. I think on ADCs you need to like at least consider Overheal as an option a little bit more, especially after it gets buffed. But Triumph just is the more fun one to use, so just because of that I will move it up a bit. Okay, fine in certain scenarios. Well, I'll actually move up Pale of Blade's highest here, and I'll have Comet right after Airy, and that's fine with the Keystones. water walking, definitely. I will actually have to move up before Predator. I think it's really strong. Cheap shot, very good. I will move up Absolute Focus. I think Absolute Focus is really good as well. But it just is too situational and you have relying on not taking a lot of damage. So you have to position well with this rune. Otherwise I think this is fine. I'll move up Overgrowth above Fun of Life. And then I'll move up this one. I think I will do something like this. Yeah, that's fine. Can change these a little bit. They're fine now. Yeah. Okay, so this is the final tier list. As you can see, there's at least, as far as I can tell, every single tree in every single tier. The only ones that are a little bit like mediocre ones, as you can see, is like sorcery and domination. Like, they do have some really good options, but most of it is like mediocre and works. Meanwhile, you have precision that has a lot of great stuff, but then also a little bit of like mediocre. But precision as a tree itself is really strong at the moment. But yeah, this is the tier list that I think is rather accurate across most ranks. Again, you can make an argument for a lot of these to be placed in a different tier, either higher or lower. But for now, this is going to be my personal ranking of the current power state of these runes. And feel free to argument or be like, why do you think this? Why do you think that? I think I went over it mostly. But again, this is not a very in-depth one. So this is the tier list. Comment what you think about it. If you think I did something wrong, let me know. If you think I did something right, also let me know. Otherwise than that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video that you watch.